Hello and welcome to my beautiful tribe of alternatives. This is a sacral chakra class designed to help you in your manifestation journey. We're going to begin lying down on the mat. I do have some props, but they're not compulsory. They're recommended, not required. I've got 2 blocks and a blanket. You can obviously use a towel or 2 books if you wish, anything that you can use to modify instead. As I say, they're not essential, but if you want to pause the video and grab those, now is the time. But otherwise, come down and meet me on your mat. Take your blocks and pop them off towards the top of the mat. And if you are using a blanket or a towel, place it on the right-hand side of your mat and come to lie down completely on your front. We'll begin first of all lying completely face down on the mat, hands on top of one another, creating a pillow for the forehead, gently massaging the third eye against the forehead if you wish. As you start to connect with yourself, you can gently rock the hips into the earth if you like. Start to notice how you feel. Start to take your attention to what's going on inside your body and inside your mind. Widen the legs a little to get a little bit more space in the hips and gently rock the hips from side to side, massaging the front of the pelvis against the earth. Now the sacral chakra, for those of you who don't know, is situated around our sexual organs, our pelvis, our hip, the low back, all the way front, back and side for that part of the body. One of my favourite teachings of the sacral chakra is because it encompasses our reproductive organs. It represents our ability to create something out of nothing. Now bring yourself to be still. Lift the head, and we're going to bring ourselves into a gentle sphinx pose almost. So elbows beneath shoulders, arms in a nice straight line with the fingertips directly in line with the elbow, and we're going to come into half frog pose. And that's why I've got you to put the blanket or the towel to the side, and all you're going to do is to lift the right knee out to the side. Right angle at the hip, right angle at the knee, and a right angle at the ankle, and gently allow gravity to do its job and pull the hip back down towards the earth. You can stay in Sphinx pose if you wish, or if that's too active for your back, you can come to lie straight back down, flat again, and just breathe into the hip. Direct all of your attention and energy there, inviting it to release. Now, the sacral chakra is associated with our emotions. The element of the chakra is water, and it's very deeply connected with our right to feel pleasure, our right to be creative, and our right to adjust our experience so that it works for us. Just keep breathing, directing your attention into the inside of the hip, inviting it to relax, just saying to the mind, soften, soften, soften. We're going to move relatively slowly in this practice because often it's only within the process of slowing down that we get to notice how we truly feel. And many of us, our lives are so fast and so busy that we often don't have the time to take notice of how we feel. But the more you notice how you feel, the easier it is to adjust your own experience so that it is more pleasurable and more enjoyable for you in every moment. 2 more breaths here. Now release the right leg back. Lower the head back down to the earth, make a pillow with the hands again, bend the knees, and then just gently windshield wiper the feet from side to side. If you don't have a blanket, just make sure that you're shifting over on your mat so that your knee is protected by the mat when you're coming into half frog pose. So allow the feet to float back down to the earth. If you're using a blanket or a towel, shift it over to the other side. When you're all set up, then again, bend that left knee out to the side, finding that right angle in the hip, the knee and the ankle, either choosing to come into Sphinx pose, encouraging the glutes and the low back to relax. If you're in Sphinx, use your core to support the front body, or you can just lower all the way down to the earth if you wish. Wherever you are, your invitation here to the body, to the hips in particular, where you might be holding on to any tension, is to soften, soften, soften. Ancient philosophy believes that we store our unresolved emotions in our hips. Hanging on to old feelings often gets in the way of allowing us to experience our own pleasure and experience our own joy. 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. Now straighten that left leg back, bring the head to the earth again, and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Beautiful. Now return the feet to the earth, move your blanket off to the side so it's not in your way. Place the hands underneath the shoulders and push yourself back into a tabletop position. Now in tabletop, I want you to take 4 rounds of cat-cow, but however you please. They don't have to be linear like they normally are. You can circle the hips, you can do barrel rolls, but just listen to yourself, sensate what you actually desire, and do 4 rounds of your own cat-cow. The sentiment of the sacral chakra that we need to embody in the manifestation process is understanding that the more enjoyable you make things, the more pleasant things are, the easier it is to be able to keep going. The more fluid and flexible you are, the easier you can flow around problems. Now come back to a tabletop position and extend your right leg to the back of the mat. Use your core to support you and then lift the right leg in line so that the heel is in line with the hip. Using the core to hold that leg up, pressing firmly into the hands, then take that foot out to the side and plant the right foot on the earth. Look forward with your chest, lift your sit bones high, and then sit back into the heel so you're getting a nice stretch on the inside of that right thigh and opening into the right hip. Receive any messages that you need to receive, any wisdom that you need to have delivered to you from your own body whenever you're turning inwards. Last breath here. On your next inhale and draw yourself forwards back up into a tabletop position with the right foot still extended out to the side. Bend into that right knee, and from here we're going to take some hip circles, nice big juicy hip circles, inhaling to come forward, exhaling to come back. Opening up those hips as much as you possibly can to remove and release any stuck emotion. Now pause and sweep round in the opposite direction. One more round. Beautiful. Then bring yourself back to the midline, re-extend that right leg, press into the hands, fire up the core, lift the right leg out to the side, take it back round behind you, using the core to re-square off the hip, then tuck that back toe, press into the hands and lift up into a 3-legged dog. Really reaching out through those toes, and then look forwards, exhale that right foot down to the earth and then inhale back into tabletop position. Come into cow, and then exhale, arch and round into cat. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Extend that left foot to the back of the mat, pushing through the back of the heel, firing up the core as you press into the hands. Inhale and lift the left heel so that it's in line with the hip, and then use the strength of the core to take the left foot out to the side and plant the sole of the left foot on the earth. Look forwards to extend through the spine. Lift the sit bones towards the ceiling, and then exhale, sit back towards your heels and bring the forehead to the earth. Again, taking an opportunity to turn inwards and ask yourself, is there a situation that I could approach a little bit more light-heartedly? Could I become more creative in the way that I'm approaching this obstacle? Receive any messages that you have to deliver. On your next inhale, lift the gaze, press into the hands and draw yourself forwards. Fire up the core again by drawing the navel back towards the spine. Lift that left leg out to the side, take it back, round to the back, square the hips off. Tuck those right toes underneath you, and again, lift up into a three-legged dog, pressing down into the hands, reaching through the left toes, trying to work that right heel down towards the earth and getting as much space in the body as you can manage. Beautiful. Then float that left foot down to the mat and come into a full downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. Taking whatever version of down dog you wish. Pedaling the feet if you want to pedal the feet. Being static if you wish to be static. Following what your body tells you it needs. Listening to yourself and adjusting your own experience. On your next inhale, lift your gaze, look towards the top of the mat and take the feet to the top of the mat. You can hop or you can take lots of little steps. Get your feet to the top of the mat however you need to. And then inhale up, halfway position, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, come down, Uttanasana, forward fold. And then inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, up above the head, release them down to the heart and down by the side of the body. We're going to come back down and do a few sun salutations, but broken down and adding in some hip openers. So inhale, sweep the arms nice and high. Exhale, come forwards and down, trying to make the movement as pleasant and enjoyable for you as you can manage. Inhale, halfway position. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Now as you inhale, place both hands on the earth, step the right foot to the back of the mat and lower the right knee down to the earth. Release those back toes. Now inhale the arms up nice and high, softening the shoulders away from the ears and allowing the hips to really descend towards the earth. Now reach through the right fingertips and slide the left hand down the side of the body, either taking hold of underneath the thigh or bringing the left fingertips all the way down to the earth. If you can't reach the earth and you'd like to grab hold of one of your blocks and use that, you can. But when you find the earth or your block, wherever you're going to stop, reach through the right arm and then exhale, tip over to the left to really increase the opening and stretch in that hip flexor. Beautiful. Now inhale, sweep the left arm up to the sky and then bring the hands down to frame that left foot. Bring the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, halfway position. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, lift the head, plant the hands, take the left foot to the back of the mat, lower the left knee down to the earth, come into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. You can shuffle your left knee back a little bit further if you wish than usual to give yourself some extra space in the hips. When you're steady in the low body, inhale the arms nice and high up above the head.
descending the energy through the lower body while simultaneously lifting through the upper body. Reach through your left fingertips and then slide your right hand down the side of your body, either taking hold of beneath the thigh. You can grab hold of your block, bring your fingertips to that, or bring your fingertips to the earth, and then reach with the left arm over towards the right, feeling an increased sensation in that left hip flexor. Beautiful. Now release the hands down. Bring both blocks to the top of your mat. You won't need them straight away, but I want them there in just a moment. Plant the fingertips. Take the right foot back to meet the left. And then inhale forwards into plank. Then lower all the way down to the mat. You can drop your knees if you wish to make it easier for you to get there. When you arrive onto your mat, inhale and lift up into cobra. Exhale, lower all the way back down to the earth. Bring the right arm to the top of your mat, left arm to the top of your mat, but take it to a 45-degree angle so you're directing it towards the top right-hand corner. Then bend your right knee and take hold of your right foot with your right hand. Square your hips back off to the front of the mat. If you wish to reverse the grip of your hand, you can. And if you wish to straighten your front arm, you can. But there is no need to do either unless it feels comfortable to you. Stretching through the front of that hip. Release the right foot, straighten the right knee, swap the right arm so it's in the same position as the left. So right arm to a 45-degree angle to the top left-hand corner of the mat. Bend the left knee, take hold of the left foot in the left hand if you wish, on the outside of the foot, or you can reverse your grip so that it goes inside, and straighten your right arm if you wish. But again, no need to go any further than your body wants you to, and you can keep your head down towards the earth if you wish. Beautiful. Now release the left foot, bring the hands back beneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, find the knees, bring your blocks back towards the top of your mat if you've moved them out of the way, and then bring yourself up into downward facing dog. 2 breaths in down dog. Then inhale your right leg nice and high, 3-legged dog like we did before, and this time bend your right knee, drop your right heel towards your left buttock, and really try and open that hip as much as you can, whilst at the same time keeping the shoulders and the hands square, both hands pressing firmly into the earth. On your next inhale, lift your gaze, and then sweep your knee high and all the way around and bring it to the outside of the right hand. Right foot on the outside of the right hand, lower the right knee down to the earth. We're coming into lizard pose. This is where if you have your blocks, you can use them. So bring your blocks to the insides of the foot, fingertips on the blocks, lifting through the crown of the head and extending through the spine. Trying to get as much space in the hips as you can manage. If you wish, you can leave the left knee on the floor, or you can tuck the back toes and lift that left knee away from the floor. You can stay upright on the blocks, extending through the crown of the head, or if you prefer, you can come down onto your forearms on the blocks. Wherever you are, find a position that is comfortable for you. Go where your body wants you to go and not where your ego invites you to go. Now, everybody lower the back knee back down to the ground if it's not there already. Turn your right foot out to a 45-degree angle and roll out onto the outside edge of the foot, and you'll feel a more concentrated sensation in the hip. Again, if this doesn't feel nice, flatten the foot and square it back off. Find whichever version of this pose feels good for you today. Now you can stay with the chest square to the front of the mat if you wish, Or you can bend that left knee, take your right arm round to take hold of the left foot, and then return the body to the front of the mat. Staying on the outside edge of the right foot if you wish, or planting the foot, whichever feels more comfortable for you. 2 more breaths here. Using the breath to allow the body to soften and open. Release the foot, let go of it gently. Lower that foot back down to the earth. Bring your right hand round. Step your right knee to the back of the mat. Move the blocks off to the side so your hands can find the earth. Tuck the toes and lift yourself up into downward facing dog again. 2 nice big breaths in down dog. And then on your next inhale, inhale the left leg high, really reaching out through those left toes. Again, going for the 3-legged dog where you're pressing down into the hands, working the right heel towards the earth. Now drop the left heel towards the right buttock, lifting the left knee as high as you can and getting as much opening in the left hip as you can manage. Now inhale and lift the gaze towards the top of the mat and lift that knee nice and high, bringing it all the way around until you plant the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Lower that right knee down to the earth. Again, if you have your blocks, you can bring both blocks inside of the foot. If you don't have blocks, you can just come up onto your fingertips. Wherever you are, try and work as much space into the hips as you can manage. Lift through the crown of the head and lift through the chest. Lift the corners of your mouth into a smile and invite your glutes to relax. Now you can stay here, or you can tuck the back toes and lift that back knee away from the earth. And again, you can stay on your fingertips, or you can come down onto the forearms if you wish. But and you can do all of this on the blocks, but find a version of the pose that works for you. Don't force yourself to go where you feel that you should. Go to where feels pleasant and enjoyable. Now lower that back knee down to the earth. If it's lifted, turn the left foot out to a 45-degree angle and roll onto the outside edge of that left foot. You may stay here or bend that right knee, sweep the left arm around and take hold of the right foot, taking your chest towards the front of the mat. Using the breath to help you release tension, using the breath to help you move old stuck emotions out of the body. Beautiful. Now release that right foot, lower the foot down to the earth, bring the left hand back inside, plant the feet, plant the hands, take the left foot back to the back of the mat and come into downward facing dog again. Forgive me, I got my words a little muddled there. Beautiful. Now lift your gaze. We're going to take both feet to the top of the mat and we're going to come into a sacral chakra cleansing breath. So you bring the heels together, toes out and lower the bottom down. I think this is called a plie style position. And all we're going to do is come onto the fingertips, heels together, knees out, toes out, chest lifted forwards. This is your inhale. And your exhale, you straighten the legs but not all the way, bend in towards the legs. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. That's it. We're going to do 12 of those. So when you're ready, exhale completely. Nice big inhale, exhale. Last two. Beautiful. Now bring the bottom all the way down to the earth and come onto your back. I'm just going to move my mic pack out of the way. Come and lie all the way down on the earth, and we're going to finish with a spinal rotation. So lift your right leg and place your right ankle on top of your left knee. So figure 4 pose, gently placing the right hand on the inside of the right knee to push the knee away from you. Use the core to draw your navel back towards the spine and slightly tilt the pelvis. Then release the right arm out to the side, turn your gaze to the right, and then drop the entire leg package over to the left, planting the right foot on the floor if you can. If you want to bring the left hand to the inside of the right thigh, you can. Close down your eyes. Allow yourself to receive the benefits of your practice. Turn inwards and ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need? Where do I need to alter my experience to make it more pleasurable for me? How can I adjust my life in a way that brings me more joy? Am I able to keep going in pursuit of my dreams if I stop and allow myself to have fun? Last breath here. Release that left arm out to the side. Use the strength of the core to bring the legs back to center. Release that right foot down to the earth. Windshield wiper the knees a little from side to side, nice and slow. And then bring the legs back to the midline. Lift the left foot, place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Figure 4 pose, keeping the right foot on the floor. Taking the left hand and placing it gently on the inside of the right thigh if you wish to increase sensation as you gently push the thigh away. Then lift that left arm out of the way. Turn your gaze towards your left arm and then drop the entire leg package over towards the right, planting the left foot on the earth if you can. If you wish to bring the right hand and place it on the inside of the left knee to push it away slightly, you can. But decide what feels most pleasant and most enjoyable to you. Last breath here. Release the right arm out to the side. Use the core to bring the legs back to the midline. Release that left foot down to the earth. Adjust your upper body so you're as comfortable as you can be. Bring the hands down to the solar plexus, so that's just around the hip area. Bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop open so you're coming into reclined butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana, our final pose. Now, if this is comfortable for you and you wish to leave your hands on your sacral chakra svadhisthana, you can. If you're feeling any discomfort in your legs at all, you can bring your hands as fists and prop them underneath your thighs. Or if you'd just like to do this to encourage your hips to relax and soften open even more, you decide what feels good for you. And as you lie here, I invite you to breathe deeply into the belly, inhaling and exhaling. Nice deep inhale in through the nose as the belly rises. Exhaling out of the mouth as the belly collapses and softens.
And I invite you to repeat the following mantra either out loud or in your mind. My pleasure is my priority. 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 Now, the demon of the sacral chakra is guilt. Many of us often feel guilty about prioritizing our own pleasure, but I invite you now to ditch that sensation, ditch that guilt, and cement the belief within yourself that your pleasure is your priority. Four more breaths. My pleasure is my priority. My pleasure is my priority. My pleasure is my priority. Now, when you're ready, bring the hands to the outsides of your legs. Use the hands to slowly draw the knees together and then roll over onto one side, pausing in fetal pose just for a moment to repeat to yourself twice more, my pleasure is my priority. Push yourself up into a comfortable seated position, bringing your right to your own pleasure with you as you come, lifting the corners of your mouth into a smile. I genuinely hope that this practice has enabled you to release some stuck energy and stuck emotions, invited you to connect with your fluid and flexible and creative nature, but above all else, I sincerely hope that it has reminded you that your pleasure, your own pleasure, should be your priority as often as you can manage, because we are not here to do, we are not here for jobs, we are not here for responsibility, we are here to enjoy our experience. Take one final breath with me. Bring your hands down together at your hearts. Repeat for one final time, my pleasure is my priority. Namaste, my beautiful tribe. I invite you to go out and enjoy as much of today as you can manage and every day that follows, and take this teaching with you off the mat. See you soon.